Yep, we're talking about the debate last night and healthcare front and center last night. And the big question, is the president stealing from seniors to pay for Obamacare?
Look what Obamacare does. Obamacare takes $716 billion from Medicare to spend on Obamacare. Even their own chief actuary at Medicare backs this up. He says you can't spend the same dollar twice. You can't claim that this money goes to Medicare and Obamacare.
What we did is we saved $716 billion and put it back, applied it to Medicare. We cut the cost of Medicare.
Here's the problem. They got caught with their hands in the cookie jar, turning Medicare into a piggy bank for Obamacare.
Okay, so two different points of view. Let's do some fact-checking right now. Who's right? Betsy, New York's former lieutenant governor and author of the Obama Health Law, what it says and how to overturn it. She watched the debates closely last night. All right, so
that's a big whopper.
Yeah, was their hand caught in the cookie jar?
Yes, this law takes $716 billion out of future Medicare funding over the next decade and moves it over to pay for new entitlements for people under age 65.
So without a doubt, the money is out of Medicare.
Yes, and let's get it straight. Seniors pay for over half the cost of this law. Cuts to Medicare pay for over half the cost of this law. And these reductions in future Medicare funding, they're not savings. It's cuts to hospitals, hospice care, dialysis centers, and home care to care for seniors. Get this. Hospitals will have $247 billion less money to care for the same number of seniors. They're going to spread nurses thinner. There'll be waits for treatments. And ultimately, we have a mountain of evidence to show it's going to mean seniors have a harder time surviving their hospital stay. They won't have a chance to survive that heart attack.
Oh, man. So in that instance, Paul Ryan was correct.
Absolutely.
Also last night, Paul Ryan, also quoting that same actuary, said their own actuary from the administration came to Congress and he said 1 out of 6 hospitals and nursing homes are going to go out of business as a result of this. Joe Biden said that's not what they said, but Joe Biden was wrong and Paul Ryan was right.
Yes, Richard Foster, the chief actuary of Medicare, showed great braveness in testifying before Congress not once but twice and warning that 15% of hospitals may stop taking Medicare. Where will seniors go when their local hospital doesn't accept it? And as many as 40% of hospitals ultimately will be operating in the red. And that's the real danger, because when hospitals don't have the money, they're going to have to spread the care thinner. It's going to be skimpy. And we have so much scientific data to show that that means seniors will not do as well surviving a heart attack, heart failure, a stroke, a hip fracture. It's going to mean lower survival rates for seniors in the hospital. They won't make it home.
And this administration is promoting abortion if you so choose. We were talking earlier about this.
And this is a real irony when the choice issue came up. How can it be that a woman has the freedom to choose an abortion but not a hip replacement? Either your body is free from government interference or it isn't. And under these Medicare regulations, seniors will lose access to hip replacements, knee replacements, and other procedures that have virtually transformed aging because the government won't pay hospitals and doctors enough to provide them.
Sure. Now, one thing, obviously the country in financial trouble right now. The Romney-Ryan team has a plan, and Paul Ryan was depicting it last night. It was interesting, though, that at one point Paul Ryan turned to the vice president and said, the problem with your administration right now, essentially, is you don't have a plan. We called from Congress. We said, can we see the president's plan? And they sent him a copy of a speech because they didn't have a plan.
Well,
but they had a speech.
The irony is that Biden and Obama keep warning about this some future plan, but this law is already the law, and it is dangerous for seniors. October 1st, last week, the administration, according to this law, started awarding bonuses to the hospitals that spend the least per senior and whacking the hospitals that spend more with demerits, even for spending care on seniors when they leave the hospital, like prescribing rehab after a hip replacement.
Indeed. All right. Betsy McCaughey doing some fact-checking this morning.
Dangerous stuff.
Thank you very much for joining us live.
Thank you.
All right. Straight ahead, we've been talking about it all morning, was Joe